In the end of the first round, the Dallas Cowboys decide to go offensive tackle, selecting Tyler Smith from Tulsa, missing out on some of those other guys. They just miss out on Trevor Penning. And here to talk about the pick, Jesse Holley, host of Believe in Cowboys with Jeff Kavanaugh. Jesse, how are we feeling after that Tyler Smith selection?
I'm trying to wrap my head around what has been a tumultuous and unpredictable offseason for the Dallas Cowboys. And that trend continues through the draft. And while there were so many much more better players on a lot of the mock drafts, you look at all across the league, Tyler was a guy who was supposed to go in the third round. And he's bumped all the way up into the first round. And you just you're saying there must be a very high ceiling there, but if you're trying to convince fans and you're trying to convince people that you're in a win now situation, this isn't the guy that you thought that you would put in a situation to anchor your offensive line. Now, will he play tackle outright right now? Probably not, right? Tyron Smith is probably still your starting left tackle of your football team. So does he move in to play a little bit of left guard, which is a spot that you now have available because of the departure of Connor Williams to the Miami Dolphins? But then you look and you say, well, what was Connor Williams' biggest problem all season? The penalties. Well, you just drafted a guy who was one of the most penalized offensive linemen in college football. And so it's sometimes you don't understand the rhyme or reason with the Cowboys and their front office personnel. Of course, they probably know way more football than I do. But this is one of those picks where you scratch your head and you're saying, well, there were so many more quality first round grade top tier players. This kind of almost gives you that Taco Charleston feel to it a little bit. You know, it's like, did you kind of reach for this pick? And is this going to be a guy who is going to be able to come in right away? Because you expect your first round picks to come in right away and be impact players, significant players, day one. I don't know if this pick kind of fits that bill. I saw someone say on Twitter that they filled out the wrong Tyler for the call. Tyler Lindenbaum instead of Tyler Smith.
So I was just about to ask you that. Are you disappointed that they didn't go with Tyler Linderbaum from Iowa and try to – because Linderbaum, many people would argue, steps in and starts at center right away. Tyler Smith, a little bit of a project. You might not get him in right off the bat at the start of the season.
I do. I'm a little bit upset at that because you want guys who can plug and play right now because I thought their window closed significantly after last season when you had so many good things in place, and now you have a year older Tyron Smith and a year older Zach Martin, and Lyle Collins is no longer there, and you struggled at center a little bit last year, and you know what you did at left guard, and you have a $40 million quarterback. Like that is the thing is that you have a $40 million quarterback. And if you aren't doing things to absolutely shore up, and while Dak has some mobility, Dak is best when he's able to sit in the pocket and deliver the ball down the field from the middle of the pocket. And you didn't do much to shore that up. You didn't do much, at least in the first round. And then there's a bunch of more, time to go. But as you get into those later rounds, the quality of player – because it's a 50-50 crapshoot no matter what, whether first round or sixth round or seventh round. So, but you hope that when you hit on the 50-50 positive part in the first round, that like you did in the last other Tyron Smith is going to be a Hall of Famer. Zach Martin is going to be a Hall of Famer. If Travis Frederick didn't get hurt, he probably would have been a Hall of Famer. I just think this was a little bit of a reach. You didn't shore up a position that you needed to shore up from a quarterback that last year had a shaky second half of the season, whether it was mentally when teams started making him have to pass the ball in coverage, in zone coverage, and not being able to run the football. I just thought that you would have done a much better job of getting a much more, at least draft quality player in the first round of pedigree, of performance, than reaching for the Tulsa kid, Tyler Smith, when you had Lindenbaum and others on the board.
Folks, if you're looking for some more Cowboys analysis, be sure to check out Believe in Cowboys with Jesse Holley and Jeff Kavanaugh.
Yeah, we're going to bring it because we got tomorrow. So, yeah.